If you're over 60 and feel like your home has started to close in on you, the problem might not be age, it could be clutter. But here's the surprising part. It's often not the stuff itself, but the 8 mistakes seniors unknowingly make that cause stress, safety risks, and overwhelm. Today, I'll walk you through those mistakes, the simple ways to fix 99% of them, and reveal one powerful trick at the end that can free your home and your mind from years of build-up. Stick with me because each step will bring you closer to a calmer, safer, and more joyful space. In the next few minutes, you'll discover the 8 most common decluttering mistakes that so many people over 60 fall into without even realizing it. More importantly, you'll learn the easy, practical fixes that can eliminate nearly all of your clutter problems without the stress or guilt that often comes with letting things go. Each solution is designed to make your home safer, lighter, and easier to enjoy every single day. And stay tuned, because at the very end, I'll share one powerful tip that doesn't just help you tidy. It transforms the way you feel about your home. It's a step that even professional organizers often overlook, but it can change the way you live in your space for good. So, whether your goal is to breathe easier, move more freely, or simply enjoy your surroundings without the weight of excess things, you're in the right place. Mistake 1. Holding on to someday items. One of the biggest hidden reasons homes become overcrowded isn't the obvious clutter, it's the quiet, lingering weight of someday items. If you're over 60, you probably know exactly what I mean. It's those clothes you're keeping because someday I might fit into them again, or that bread maker you haven't touched in years but tell yourself you'll someday try. Maybe it's the boxes of old craft supplies, the exercise bike gathering dust, or the stack of magazines waiting for the someday I'll read these. The problem isn't just that these things take up space. It's that they hold a constant, silent reminder of things you feel you should be doing. Instead of inspiring you, they weigh on you, adding guilt or pressure every time you walk past them. That kind of emotional burden builds up over time and can even steal joy from the present moment. And let's be honest, when someday hasn't come in 5, 10, or even 20 years, it's unlikely to arrive tomorrow. So how do you fix this without feeling regret or throwing something away too quickly? Here's a simple and gentle method that works. Create what I call the 90-day box. The idea is simple. Gather your someday items, the jeans that don't fit, the appliance you might use, the stack of books you think you'll get to, and place them all in a clearly labelled box. Seal it up and mark today's date on it. Then put the box somewhere out of sight, like a closet or garage shelf. Here's the key. Over the next 3 months, if you truly need something from that box, you'll remember it and go get it. But if 90 days pass and you haven't even thought about it, that's your clear sign that the item isn't part of your life anymore. It's just part of your clutter. At that point, you can confidently donate or discard it, guilt-free, knowing you gave it a fair chance. This method works beautifully because it removes the fear of making a permanent mistake. You're not deciding on the spot whether to let go forever, you're simply giving yourself a trial period. And when that trial period ends, you'll see the truth. Most someday items aren't really serving you, they're just holding you back. Now here's the deeper benefit seniors often overlook. Letting go of these someday items isn't just about freeing up a drawer or a closet. It's about reclaiming mental space. Every time you open that closet and see only clothes that fit and make you feel good, you'll feel a sense of relief. Every time you walk into the kitchen and only see tools you actually use, you'll feel empowered rather than overwhelmed. That's not just decluttering. That's building confidence in the present version of yourself, instead of holding on to a version of who you might have been or might become. And here's where it gets even more powerful. Donating those someday items means they actually get used. That bread maker you haven't touched, it could be helping a young family save money by baking their own bread. Those clothes you're saving, they could be keeping someone warm this winter. In letting go, you not only create peace in your own home, but also bless someone else's life. So, ask yourself this right now. What's one item in your home you've been saving for someday? Maybe it's that exercise machine that now doubles as a clothes rack, or that stack of cookbooks gathering dust. Whatever comes to mind first, write it down, or even better, share it in the comments. You'll be surprised how freeing it feels just to admit it. And when you see that you're not alone, when you notice how many others have their own someday items, you'll feel encouraged to take that next step and finally let it go. Remember, your home should be a reflection of the life you're living now, not the one you used to live or might live someday. And trust me, once you start releasing these items, you'll realize that you're not losing anything. You're gaining clarity, freedom, and a space that truly supports you. Mistake 2. Keeping duplicates without realizing. One of the sneakiest ways clutter creeps into your home isn't from big purchases or sentimental items, it's from duplicates. These are the things we buy or keep just in case, until one day we open a drawer and realize we've got 6 spatulas, 4 almost identical jackets, or a cabinet overflowing with coffee mugs. For many people over 60, duplicates come from years of building up household supplies. Maybe you replaced an old pan but kept the old one just in case. Or you bought a new winter coat but never let go of the last 2. Over decades, this turns into layers of extras that silently take over storage spaces. The problem is, these duplicates don't make life easier, they make it harder. They create choice overload, crowd your shelves, and often hide the items you actually enjoy using. Think about it. How many coffee mugs do you really use in a week? Maybe 3 or 4 at most. Yet many seniors keep an entire shelf full of mugs, most of which never get touched. Every time you open the cabinet, you're faced with clutter instead of convenience. The same goes for jackets, towels, or kitchen gadgets. You reach for the same favorite ones over and over, while the rest just sit there taking up space. The solution? A simple but powerful strategy. Keep your favorite, let the rest go. Start with one category at a time, mugs, coats, utensils, shoes, and pull them all out. Then ask yourself, which one do I actually love and use the most? Keep that 1 or 2 and donate the extras. Suddenly, instead of a crowded drawer or closet, you've got space, clarity, and only things you enjoy. To keep duplicates from piling up again, try the 1 in, 1 out rule. It works like this. Whenever you bring something new into your home, say a new sweater, you immediately let go of an old one. If you buy a new mixing bowl, one of the old ones leaves the kitchen. This rule keeps your home balanced and prevents clutter from sneaking back in. Now here's where the emotional benefit kicks in. Imagine opening your closet and seeing just the jackets you truly love to wear, no squeezing through hangers of outdated, uncomfortable coats, or picture opening your kitchen drawer and finding only the utensils you actually use, neatly organized and easy to grab. That's what I mean by lighter shelves equals lighter mind. When you don't have to sift through extras, your brain feels calmer, decisions get easier, and daily routines become smoother. And there's another layer. When you donate those duplicates, you're not just decluttering, you're giving someone else the chance to enjoy them. That 4th jacket you never wear could become someone's favorite. Those extra mugs could brighten someone's morning coffee. In this way, decluttering duplicates isn't wasteful, it's generous. Here's something many seniors find powerful. Reducing duplicates helps you rediscover appreciation. When you only keep the things you love, you notice them more. Drinking from your favorite mug becomes a small joy. Wearing your most comfortable coat feels like a gift, instead of digging past items you don't want. Fewer choices lead to more satisfaction. So take a moment to look around. What category in your home is guilty of duplicates? Is it kitchen tools, clothing, or maybe even linens? Think about it and share in the comments. What's the one thing you seem to have too many of? You might even laugh at yourself when you realize just how many you've been holding on to. Remember, clearing duplicates isn't about stripping your home bare, it's about curating it so that everything you own earns its place. When every item serves a purpose or sparks joy, you no longer feel weighed down by the extras. You'll be surprised how this one small shift can ripple into every part of your life. Simpler mornings, less stress, and more room for the things that truly matter. Mistake number 3 is treating everything as sentimental. When it comes to decluttering, The toughest category isn't the kitchen drawer or the closet. It's the things that tug at your heart. Sentimental items can feel impossible to part with, and that's why so many seniors find themselves surrounded by boxes they haven't opened in years. Just think about those overflowing bins of your children's school artwork, the stack of holiday cards from decades past, or the gifts you received but never used. Each one holds a story, a memory, or a connection to someone you love. Letting go feels like letting go of the memory itself. But here's the truth. Keeping everything sentimental can backfire. Instead of those memories bringing you joy, they start to feel like a heavy weight. When a closet is bursting with old mementos, you can't even see or appreciate the truly special ones. Instead of honoring your past, you bury it under piles of paper, trinkets, and objects that sit untouched. And every time you come across them, you feel guilty for not doing something about it. So how do you protect those precious memories without drowning in them? The answer lies in preserving the feeling, not the pile. One of the most effective ways is to photograph sentimental items. Take pictures of your kids' artwork, letters, or keepsakes that hold meaning. You can even create a digital album or photo book where every piece is captured and easy to look back on. This way the memory lives on, but the physical clutter doesn't take over your space. Then instead of keeping dozens or even hundreds of sentimental items, choose just one or two meaningful pieces to hold on to physically. Imagine having a beautifully framed drawing your child made, proudly displayed on the wall, instead of a dusty box hidden in the attic. Or keeping one thoughtful gift that makes you smile every time you see it, instead of a dozen items sitting unused in storage. By curating, you elevate the importance of each memory instead of drowning it in a sea of things. This doesn't mean you're erasing your past. It means you're allowing yourself to enjoy it in a healthier way. Think about it. Would you rather have a garage stacked with boxes you never look at, or a few cherished treasures you actually see and appreciate every day? Less truly is more when it comes to honoring memories. And here's the emotional payoff. Once you free yourself from the pressure of keeping everything, you'll notice your heart feels lighter. You'll still have those powerful memories, but instead of being tied down by piles of objects, you'll have space to live fully in the present. That balance is what makes your home not only clutter-free, but also full of meaning. Here's a practical step you can try today. Go through one box of sentimental items. Pick out your top 2 favorites that make your heart leap with joy. Then take photos of the rest and release them. Whether you donate, recycle, or pass them along to someone who can use them, you'll know you've preserved the essence of those memories without being buried by the excess. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's the most sentimental item you've struggled to let go of? Is it your children's school projects, an old wedding gift, or maybe holiday keepsakes? Share it in the comments, because you'll be surprised how many others are holding on to the same things. While sentimental clutter can weigh heavily on your heart, the next mistake is one that silently drains your energy every single day, and it has nothing to do with emotions. Stay with me, because you won't want to miss it. Mistake number 4 is letting paper pile up. If there's one type of clutter that sneaks up on almost everyone, it's paper. Unlike big, bulky items, paper slips quietly into your home, one envelope at a time, until one day you find drawers that won't close, stacks on the kitchen counter, or entire boxes filled with documents you haven't touched in years. For seniors, this often means piles of old bills, outdated bank statements, instruction manuals for appliances you no longer own, and even letters from companies that don't exist anymore. Here's the tricky part. Paper creates a unique kind of stress because it feels important. You might think, what if I need this one day? Or I should hang on to this just in case. The problem is 90% of paper in most homes is never needed again, but it still takes up space, creates visual noise, and weighs heavily on your mind every time you see it. And unlike other clutter, paper piles tend to grow faster than we can manage, especially with decades of accumulation. The fix? 2 simple steps: organize what matters and release the rest. Start by sorting papers into 3 categories: keep, digitize, or discard. For important items like medical records, legal documents, or recent financial statements, use clearly labeled folders or binders so you know exactly where to find them. For items you want to keep but don't need physical copies of, like receipts, manuals, or letters, you can scan them using a phone app or a small home scanner. Digital storage not only saves space but also makes it easier to retrieve documents when you need them. As for the rest, those decades-old bills, expired warranties, or outdated statements, they serve no purpose. Shred them, recycle them, and free your home of that invisible weight. Once you start, you'll be surprised by how much unnecessary paper you've been holding on to and how quickly your space feels clearer. Now let's talk about the emotional benefit. When you walk into a room and see stacks of paper, your brain registers it as unfinished business. It feels like a task waiting for you, even if you never get around to it. Clearing those piles doesn't just tidy the space, it removes that constant reminder of things left undone. Imagine opening a drawer and finding only neatly organized folders instead of chaos. That shift can make your home feel calmer and your mind more at ease. And here's something powerful. Once you establish a system, paper clutter stops controlling you. Instead of letting mail pile up on the table, you'll know exactly what to do with each piece. Keep, scan, or shred. That sense of control builds confidence and saves time, especially when important documents are easy to find. So let me ask you, do you have a drawer full of old papers? Be honest, yes or no, in the comments. You'll likely find you're not alone, and sharing it might just inspire you to tackle that first drawer or stack today. Remember, every piece of paper you let go of is one less burden in your home. And when the piles disappear, what you gain is more than space, you gain peace of mind. Mistake number 5 is overfilling storage spaces. One of the most common yet hidden mistakes seniors face is overstuffing every available storage area. At first it feels harmless, tucking something away in the closet, adding another box to the garage, or squeezing one more container onto a basement shelf. But over time those spaces become so full that they stop serving their purpose. Instead of organizing your belongings, they begin to overwhelm you. Think about it. A closet that's so tightly packed you can't see what you own. A garage where boxes block the path. A basement where bins are stacked so high you're afraid to even touch them. The result? Frustration, wasted time, and the constant stress of knowing you're surrounded by things you can't access or don't truly use. And here's the emotional weight. It's not just the clutter that's taking up space. It's the mental load of always feeling like there's too much to deal with. The truth is, when every drawer, shelf and cabinet is crammed full, you lose the freedom to enjoy the things you do keep. You can't grab that favorite jacket without wrestling past 10 others. You can't enjoy a family meal in the dining room when the table is buried under storage boxes. And you can't feel relaxed in your own home when your eyes constantly fall on overflowing shelves. So how do you fix it? The solution isn't to tackle your entire garage or basement in one overwhelming weekend. That's a recipe for burnout. Instead, approach it one small, focused step at a time. Pick a single shelf, a single drawer, or a single box. Empty it completely, lay everything out, and ask yourself, does this still serve me? Does it make my life easier, happier, or more meaningful? If the answer is no, it's time to let it go. When you return only the things you truly need or love, something powerful happens. That half-empty shelf doesn't look bare. It looks like freedom. It's like taking a deep breath after being in a crowded room. You'll find that each small victory gives you motivation to move on to the next. Soon, your storage spaces will stop being overstuffed hiding spots and return to their intended purpose, helping you live with ease, not stress. And here's the emotional reward. Every cleared shelf is not just space gained in your home, but peace gained in your mind. You'll walk into that closet and feel calm instead of chaos. You'll open that cabinet and find exactly what you're looking for without frustration. Even your garage or basement can transform from an overwhelming maze into a place where you actually feel in control again. This isn't about minimalism or getting rid of everything. It's about reclaiming your home from the weight of unnecessary things. Overstuffed storage silently drains your energy day after day, but creating breathing space gives you energy back. Now here's the truth. Once you see and feel the relief of a half-empty shelf, you won't want to go back. That little pocket of order becomes contagious. It reminds you that clutter doesn't control you. You control what stays in your home. So let me ask, which storage space in your home needs the most breathing room right now? Your closet? Your garage? Or maybe that kitchen cabinet that's been stuffed for years? Think about where you'll feel the most relief and start there. Because once you take that first step, you'll see decluttering isn't about loss. It's about creating the space to live more fully. Mistake number 6 is all about postponing decisions. You know, one of the biggest traps seniors fall into while decluttering isn't really about having too much stuff. It's about delaying the decision of what to do with it. You might pick up an item, feel uncertain, and, well, instead of deciding whether it stays or goes, you set it aside in a pile labelled later. But here's the hard truth. Later rarely comes. Those piles grow, they multiply, and before you know it, they're just another layer of clutter you'll have to face again. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you handled the same stack of papers, the same box of trinkets, or the same shelf of odds and ends without ever making a final call? Each time, you're not just holding on to the item, you're also holding on to the mental burden of unfinished business. That silent weight really adds up, and honestly, it's exhausting. Postponing decisions creates what I call clutter debt. Every item left undecided is like a little bill waiting to be paid. You may not notice it right away, but over time the stress builds. You walk by that pile and a part of you whispers, I still need to deal with that. Multiply that whisper by dozens of items, and suddenly your home feels less like a sanctuary and more like a to-do list that never ends. So how do you break free from this cycle? The fix is simple but powerful. Practice the one-touch rule. It works like this. Every time you touch an item, make a decision right then and there. Does it stay? Does it get donated, or does it get tossed? Handle it once and be done with it. No second pile, no endless maybes, no pushing decisions into the future. At first it might feel uncomfortable. You may second-guess yourself. But here's where the shift happens. The more you practice making quick decisions, the easier it becomes. Your confidence grows, and suddenly you'll notice clutter shrinking much faster than before. What once felt overwhelming begins to feel manageable, even freeing. And here's the emotional side. Every time you complete a decision, you lift a small weight off your shoulders. Instead of being haunted by unfinished piles, you experience the satisfaction of closure. That simple act of deciding becomes a little victory, one that restores a sense of control and peace in your home. The beauty of this approach is that it doesn't just declutter your space, it declutters your mind. By ending the habit of postponing, you stop carrying the invisible burden of all those later piles. You'll no longer feel guilty when you walk past them because they won't exist anymore. So the next time you pick something up, remember, one touch, one decision. Don't hand that item the power to weigh on you for days or weeks. Instead, reclaim your energy by making the call now. And here's something to think about. Decluttering isn't always about the stuff in your home. Sometimes the real clutter comes from the people around us. And that's exactly what the next mistake reveals. It might surprise you. Mistake 7. Decluttering alone. Many seniors make the mistake of believing decluttering has to be a solo mission. You might think it's my home, my stuff, my responsibility. And while that's true, tackling it all alone can quickly become overwhelming. The piles seem bigger, the decisions feel heavier, and instead of making progress, you end up feeling drained, even defeated. There's also an emotional layer here. When you're going through years of belongings, you're not just sorting objects, you're revisiting memories. Some of those memories bring joy, but others can stir up grief, regret, or loneliness. Facing that emotional weight by yourself can feel isolating. What started as a simple task of going through things can turn into an exhausting journey that leaves you more burdened than before. Here's the fix. Don't declutter in isolation. Involve someone you trust, a family member, a close friend, or even a neighbor who understands your situation. Decluttering doesn't have to be a chore. It can be a shared experience that builds connection. Imagine sitting with your daughter while sorting through old photos, sharing stories she's never heard, or laughing with a friend while deciding which kitchen gadgets actually deserve a spot in your cupboard. Suddenly, the task becomes lighter, and the memories feel shared instead of carried alone. Having someone by your side also helps with accountability. It's easier to let go of duplicates, unused items, or outdated papers when another voice gently encourages you. Do you really need all three of these? Which one's your favorite? That outside perspective helps break through the emotional fog that sometimes keeps us stuck. And don't underestimate the safety factor. If you're moving boxes, climbing ladders, or lifting heavier items, having someone there can prevent accidents. Decluttering alone isn't just emotionally tough, it can also put your physical health at risk. A trusted helper makes the process safer, smoother, and less tiring. Even if you prefer independence, you can still involve others in small ways. Maybe you decide what to keep, but ask a family member to handle the donation drop-off. Or maybe you take the lead while your friend simply provides company and encouragement. You don't have to hand over control, you just allow yourself the gift of support. And here's the emotional payoff. Decluttering with someone else doesn't just clear out things, it deepens bonds. You share stories, pass down meaningful items, and sometimes even discover laughter in the middle of what felt like a heavy task. Instead of loneliness, the process becomes a reminder that you're not walking this season of life by yourself. So, let me ask you, who would you trust to help you declutter? A family member, a good friend, or would you still prefer to go it alone? Drop your answer in the comments below. Now, as powerful as it is to lean on others, there's one final mistake that can undo all of your hard work if you're not careful, and it's the one most seniors overlook until it's too late. Mistake 8. Forgetting to celebrate progress. One of the biggest mistakes seniors make when decluttering isn't about what to keep or what to toss. It's about what you forget to notice. Too often the focus stays locked on what's left to do. The stacks still in the garage, the closet still packed, or the drawers you haven't touched yet. That mindset steals away the joy of the progress you've already made. And when you can't see progress, it feels like you're standing still, even when you've actually moved forward. Here's the truth. Decluttering isn't just about the end goal of a perfectly tidy home. It's a journey. Every drawer cleared, every shelf opened up, and every box sorted is a step toward lighter living. Ignoring those victories can make the process feel like endless work, and for many seniors, that's the reason projects stall halfway through. When you can't celebrate the wins, you stop feeling motivated to continue. The fix is simple but powerful. Acknowledge each achievement as you go. After clearing a nightstand, pause and admire how easy it is now to find your glasses or book. When you finally open a closet and see extra breathing space, take a deep breath and notice how much lighter it feels. These little moments of recognition fuel your momentum and remind you that change is happening. Rewarding yourself is just as important. That doesn't mean going out and buying more things. That would undo your hard work. Instead, choose a reward that brings joy without adding clutter. Maybe it's making a cup of your favorite tea and sitting in your newly cleared chair to enjoy it. Maybe it's calling a friend to share your success. Or maybe it's simply putting on music and dancing. Yes, even for just a minute, in the new space you've created. These small celebrations reinforce the positive feelings tied to decluttering, making it something you want to keep doing instead of dreading. And here's the deeper transformation. Celebrating progress shifts the way you see yourself. Instead of feeling behind or buried under stuff, you start to see yourself as someone taking control, step by step. That change in perspective is powerful. It doesn't just clear your home, it clears your mind. Think about it. A clutter-free space isn't just tidy, it gives you freedom. Freedom to move without tripping hazards, freedom to find what you need without frustration, and freedom to enjoy the things that truly matter, instead of being weighed down by what doesn't. That kind of freedom is worth pausing for, acknowledging and celebrating at every stage. So, here's a thought for you. What's one small area you could clear today? A drawer, a shelf, or even just your kitchen counter, that you could then celebrate? Imagine how good it would feel to reward yourself not when it's all done, but every time you take a step forward. Because decluttering isn't about perfection, it's about progress. And progress, no matter how small, deserves to be celebrated. By now you've seen how easy it is to fall into those 8 traps. Holding on to someday items, keeping duplicates, drowning in paper piles, overstuffing closets, and even forgetting to celebrate your wins. The truth is, when you avoid these mistakes, you can eliminate 99% of your clutter without feeling overwhelmed. And here's the beautiful part. Less clutter isn't just about having a tidier home, it's about freedom. It's about walking into your rooms without tripping hazards, breathing easier in spaces that feel open, and living with only what truly serves you. A clutter-free home doesn't just protect your safety, it lifts a weight from your heart. It gives you back your peace, your energy, and your joy. If this video gave you a new idea or a little motivation, hit that like button and share it with someone you care about. Together, we can make clutter-free living a gift that brings peace, safety, and freedom to every senior ready to enjoy more space and less stress.